So till now we have studied linear oscillation. Now we will study angular oscillation. But before we start angular oscillation, we have read means we have studied linear oscillation. But we should know that there is no motion that is of the rectilinear type, means that is of linear type, means in plane motion, means the straight line motion. So there is no motion that is a straight line motion, means a rectilinear motion in true sense, because every rectilinear motion, means a straight line motion, is a circular motion with its center or instantaneous center, means the center at that instant, okay, represented by IC, instantaneous center. So every rectilinear motion is a circular motion with its center or instantaneous center at infinity. Okay. So this we have seen that a block of mass m, okay, is attached with a spring to a wall. Okay. The spring has a spring constant or a stiffness constant k. Now as we know that we are deal with point mass, means a body can be treated as a point object with its mass located at the center of gravity. Okay, so that axis passing through the center of gravity. Okay, so that axis passing through the center of gravity to that plane. Okay, so this is the plane, this is a straight line rectilinear motion plane. So passing through the center of gravity and perpendicular to that plane, to that curve, is at the infinity. So instantaneous center is at the infinity. Okay, now if you push the mass or pull it mass, means if you either push the block or pull the block, then force is induced. Okay, first you have to apply a external force, means you have to apply one external force. Now to counter that external force, the a spring will give the inertia force, okay, to bring it to the equilibrium position or the mean position or the center or at the origin. The spring will apply the inertial or restoring force, okay, to bring the body to its center or mean position. Okay, now the linear acceleration caused by this force F is, okay, so linear acceleration caused by the force is equal to minus of omega square into x. Okay, so x is the displacement and omega is the angular frequency or angular velocity in radian per second. The omega has a unit of radian per second. Now the natural frequency of vibration, the natural frequency of the vibration omega n, because if there is no damping, then this will vibrate naturally or this will oscillate naturally with a frequency of omega n is equal to under root of k by m. So k is the stiffness constant or a spring constant and m is the mass of the body. Okay, I have shown this as a rectangular mass. It can be of any mass, it can be of any shape. Okay, this is a rectangular shape, it can be of any shape. The formula will be the same and things will be the same. Now we will see angular oscillation. Okay, so angular oscillation is shown by a pendulum. Okay, so in the pendulum we a circular object. Okay, because this is a perfect shape, circular shape is the perfect shape. Okay, very balanced shape. Okay, at the center it is very balanced. So we generally say by a circular, but we can have any mass, any shape m. If you are attaching that mass of center of gravity to that string, you can have any shape. So angular oscillation made by this pendulum. Okay, so the string is attached to that body having mass m, and other end is hinged. Okay, so this is the hinge support. So in hinge support you can rotate about the hinge part, means the hinge point, you can rotate about it. So this is the hinge support. Okay, or the pin support. Okay, the pin support is known as hinge support. Okay, so this is the hinge support or the center or axis of rotation. So this is the axis of rotation. Okay, perpendicular to the plane of this paper. Okay, perpendicular to this plane. Okay, so center of axis of rotation, this theta is the angular displacement. Now this is the minus x direction from the origin. Okay, this is the minus x direction and this is the positive x direction from the origin. The sign convention for theta is clockwise is negative, because you can see clockwise is negative and anti-clockwise is positive. Okay, the anti-clockwise theta will give you positive x and clockwise theta will give you negative x. Okay, at mean position the angular displacement theta is equal to 0, because the object has not been displaced. Okay, because when object is at 0 position, the tension of the spring is in the vertical direction, is balanced by the weight of the body mg. Okay, both are, means the mg is acting downwards and tension in the spring is acting upwards. So mean position is the origin, means this is the mean position at the center. Okay, and only two forces are acting at that point, so forces are also least number. Now when you displace it to a position, then other than this T and mg, centripetal force and centrifugal force also start acting. Okay, so push it to any side from mean position and release, it will start making angular oscillation. Okay, so x means it will go x direction here, then minus x direction here. Okay, again coming from the center, so this will oscillate like this. So at the mean position theta is equal to 0, net torque experienced by the body is equal to 0, and angular acceleration alpha net is equal to 0. Okay, now the torque applied to cause this motion T is equal to I into alpha. Okay, so I is the mass moment of inertia about the axis of rotation and alpha is the angular acceleration that will happen by the application of the torque T. Rotation and revolution are circular motion, and these are concerned with application of torque or torsion. When you will apply torque and torsion, then rotation or revolution will happen, and both are circular motion. Okay, now this torque and torsion induces shear stress tau, okay, and shear strain phi. Okay, so this induces shear stress tau and shear strain phi. So phi here we take as phase or angular displacement. In the bodies, like we study in strength of materials, we deal with the bodies. In that case we deal with shear strain. Okay, so shear strain is caused by torque and torsion. Okay, in the body in which it is applied. Okay, so when you apply the torque or torsion to a body, the body will induce a shear stress, and shear strain will be caused by the application of the torque or torsion. Okay, so this is nothing but phase or angular position only. Okay, but in case of body it is known as shear strain. Okay, because it's a strain, the deformation has happened. Torque acting on the particle at any displacement x or angular displacement theta. Okay, the restoring torque, and the displacement x is equal to r theta, where r is the radius of curvature. Okay, that you have seen in the previous figure also. Now the angular displacement alpha is concerned with applied torque T. So applied torque T is equal to I alpha. So I is the mass moment of inertia about the axis of rotation, alpha net is the net angular acceleration of the particle, and T external is the total external torque applied. Now the external force applied is equal to restoring torque or inertia torque, because both are the equal of nature, means equal in magnitude but opposite in direction or opposite in nature. Okay, so direction are opposite to each other, while magnitudes are equal. Okay, so external torque, total external torque applied T external is equal to I into alpha. I is the mass moment of inertia about the axis of rotation. Alpha net is the net angular acceleration of the particle, and total this I alpha is the restoring torque or inertia torque. Okay, so alpha is equal to T by I. Okay, so 2T is the external torque or torsion that you know. Okay, and I is the mass moment of inertia about the axis of rotation, which is equal to minus of kt into theta, where kt is the torsional stiffness, theta is the angular displacement caused by that torque or torsion. Okay, and I is the mass moment of inertia about the axis of rotation, and alpha is the angular acceleration of the particle when torque T is applied. Okay, when you applied the torque T, alpha is the angular acceleration of the particle with which the oscillation will be happening. Okay, oscillation will be happening at omega, frequency will be omega, and acceleration will be angular acceleration will be alpha. Now the mass moment of inertia is equal to mk square, where m is the mass of the body and k is the radius of gyration. Alpha net angular acceleration acting on the particle at any angular displacement theta. Okay, so alpha net is opposite to theta when it is a inertial angular acceleration, and in the direction of theta when it is a applied acceleration, means the acceleration caused by the application of torque, because inertial acceleration is nothing, is the counter one, means application is t, so the acceleration is in the direction of theta. Okay, so there will be two accelerations, okay, equal to each other. So inertial acceleration in opposite to theta, and this applied acceleration means acceleration happening due to the application of torque T. Okay, so net angular acceleration acting on the particle at angular displacement theta so alpha net or instantaneous alpha net means instantaneous angular acceleration, means at the instant when the angular displacement was theta. So alpha net is equal to double differentiation of theta with respect to time. Okay, so t is the time, so double differentiation of theta with respect to time will give you minus of omega square into theta. Okay, because torque is opposite to the displacement. Okay, now omega angular frequency in radian per second. Okay, it is also known as angular velocity, but in case of oscillation we deal with frequency. So angular frequency omega is equal to 2 pi nu, where nu is equal to 1 by time period. Okay, and the unit of nu is hertz. Okay, because hertz is 1 by second and the unit of time period is second, so unit of nu is hertz. Also natural frequency of vibration, okay, means natural frequency of angular vibration, means natural frequency of angular oscillation is equal to under root of kt by I, where kt is the torsional stiffness, which is equal to applied torque by angular displacement theta, so applied torque T by angular displacement theta, and I is the mass moment of inertia is equal to mk square. M is the mass and k is the radius of gyration. Okay, now the time period Tp is equal to in seconds. Okay, so time period is to complete one oscillation, complete oscillation. So Tp is in seconds and theta is in radian. Angular displacement theta at any instant when time was t. So angular displacement theta at any instant t or any time t. So theta is equal to theta naught sine omega t plus delta. So theta is in radian. theta naught is the maximum angular displacement or amplitude in radian. Omega is the angular velocity or angular oscillation in radian per second. T is the time at that instant when displacement was x or angular displacement was theta. Okay, and delta is the phase or angular position at the time when t was equal to 0, means time is equal to 0, means delta is the phase or angular position at time is equal to 0. Angular velocity represented by ohm. Okay, so ohm is equal to angular rate of change of angular displacement with respect to time. So theta naught into omega cos omega t plus delta. Okay, because sine is, it is just differentiation of theta, and theta was theta naught sine omega t plus delta. So this has been differentiated to give theta naught omega cos omega t plus delta. Now the time period Tp, which is in seconds, is equal to 2 pi by omega or omega n, but better to say omega because omega n is associated with not damped system and omega is valid for all. So 2 pi by omega is equal to 2 pi into I into k by t, means kt, I by kt. I is the mass moment of inertia and kt is the torsional stiffness. Frequency of oscillation. So frequency of oscillation is represented by nu. Unit of nu is hertz, is equal to 1 by Tp. Tp is the time period and time period is in seconds. Angular frequency omega is equal to 2 pi nu, is equal, the unit is radian per second because 2 pi is in radian and nu is in 1 by second, which is also equal to theta by a small t. Okay, means angular position at time t. Okay, so theta by a small t. Okay, so angular position at time small t. Okay, so omega is equal to 2 pi nu or theta by t. Okay, now external torque applied T is equal to minus of k into theta. So external torque applied is equal to restoring or inertial torque induced to bring the particle to its center position. Okay, means applied one is equal to induced one. Okay, so applied one is the T and inertia torque or the inertial torque is equal to minus of k theta, means the applied torque is in opposite to the displacement. Okay, so torque is proportional to the angular displacement. Okay, it has been repeated twice. Okay, so torque is proportional to the angular displacement and opposite to it, and if displacing external torque is, means the external torque is the torque that is causing the displacement is clockwise, then restoring or inertia torque is in anti-clockwise sense, means opposite to that. Means if the one is clockwise, then other will be anti-clockwise, means external is clockwise, then inertial or restoring will be in anti-clockwise. Now the total energy associated with the oscillation. So if the oscillation is linear one, then potential energy, that is shown by U, it has been written E, it will be changed to U. Okay, so U is equal to 1 by kx square is equal to 1 by m omega square x square. Okay, because k is nothing but m into omega square, is equal to half into kt theta square. Kt is the torsional stiffness, theta is the angular displacement, is equal to half into I omega square theta square. I is the mass moment of inertia, omega is the angular frequency or angular velocity in radian per second, theta is the displacement, angular displacement. Now this potential energy term is for linear oscillation. Also kinetic energy is for linear oscillation is equal to half into mv square, and for angular oscillation half into I into ohm square. Okay, now total energy is equal to potential energy plus kinetic energy. Okay, so U plus K Okay, so total energy E is equal to U plus K. Now you know that theta is equal to theta naught sine omega t plus delta, and ohm is equal to theta naught omega cos omega t plus delta, and sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So when you will do that, you will get the expression of total energy is equal to half into m omega square into a square, where a is the amplitude of linear oscillation and theta naught is the amplitude of angular oscillation. Okay, so in linear displacements we concerned with mass, in angular displacements we are concerned with mass moment of inertia, and omega is same, okay, both in radian per second. Okay, so both displacement and velocity has a phase difference of pi by 2 also. Okay, so this is it. Thank you.